Oh, we're live already. Look at that. Jitsi really improved. It'll be about 5 minutes before we get started.
Philippines.
Hey, Michael.
Hi, how's it going?
Great. Oh man, I thought I was in the wrong room for a second.
I was going to say the same thing. I thought, where is everybody?
Yeah.
Hey,
Headphones here.
since you're here and nobody else is yet, can you give me ownership rights of that 8-pager doc?
Hell yeah, I can.
Because everything's going into kind of right out, like it's all going green right now. So
I'm sorry, man.
Okay.
I totally forgot that it was it was comment only. Let me see if I can do that right now.
Okay. I mean, I could have copied into a new doc, but since everybody's got the link to it, it's easier just to keep it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll file it in the Chris gave me access to the Google Drive, so I'll find a spot for it.
Let's see. Where is it?
I can give you the link if you want.
Yeah, I just have too many tabs open. Yeah, I found it.
Okay, great.
And what email? Well, hold on. Well, I don't know if you won't care about it being live streamed. Can you send me a message with your email that you use for Google Docs?
Oh, yeah, sure. No, I don't mind. I don't mind if people see it. I'll just put it in the chat here.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Hi guys.
Yo yo yo. How's the little one, Kai?
Sleeping. She's great, I think.
Trying not to wake her over here.
Nah, I'm not. Like, she's in the other room with her mom.
Oh,
There's Griff. Hey.
now the party's starting.
Yeah, everything is ready. Live stream. Did you leave and come back?
Yeah, somehow I just got kicked off in the seconds that you came in.
Cool. I mean, cool. It's still running. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. Well, at least it says live in the corner. Who knows what's really happening?
That is true. But by the way, what the fuck, man, with the title on YouTube? I mean,
well, I'll tell that story during check-in, I guess.
Please do, yeah. I'm very interested in what got me there.
I'm so sorry about that. Here, let's start the meeting because we're gonna start using doing what we used to do with what did I do this week? Thing like we did last week. So let's just get that going for a check-in. Does anyone want to start? So say what you were up to last week. Just give everybody the update for what you were doing last week. Intentions and distractions. Does anyone want to start?
I can start. I didn't do so much last week. I was carrying at home a little, so that's why, or actually a lot. That's why not much happened. But I did do the CRM thing on Lumio, the proposal, and it's up already. I'm going to talk about it in the second agenda point or something later in the meeting. I set up some rooms for Aragon. So actually the whole Aragon chat is now on Riot. And I try to help also like more bridging with the XDAI thing to run a node. Talk about that also at some point. And I think that's it. A little bit of web and maintenance, YouTube. So how about Bowen?
Oh, wait.
Oh yeah, my intentions is like have those little meeting points we have, talk about them. Oh, actually the first one is big. So looking forward to what you think about circles problem, everybody. And I'm distracted by still cooking, so I will have to rush in and out and also eat before Rose meeting. So that's my goal. So I give it to Bowen.
Well, good morning.
Yeah, that's why I give it to Bowen. Everybody, this is Bowen.
I'm trying to be a little quiet because everybody else is still asleep. So what have I done this week? I have to later today, like after the Thanksgiving festivities are done, somewhere around 5 o'clock, I'm going to finish doing the graphics on the Blockturn chip and how we arrived at the winners article, which I wrote mostly yesterday. Let's see. There were so many things on top of that I can't remember off the top of my head, but I have notes somewhere. There's been some interesting hiccups that have happened with the bridge that I've dealt with, like Vortec that have come up, and there's been a ton of payments outgoing this week, strangely. I thought that this was going to be a little bit less of a busy week for us because of Thanksgiving, but then I realized that 90% of us are not in America. So I guess you could say that I'm a bit distracted by the holidays, but my intention for the meeting is to catch up with everybody, figure out where we are and what all else might have to get done that I don't know about. And with that, I will pass it off to Don Adams.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, it always takes me a second to get my mic on. I'll start with the distractions. I'm cooking Thanksgiving dinner, so I'm going to be a more or less passive party to this meeting. This week, I wrote up an announcement about us beginning to work with RSK, and I've been doing little preliminary things, beginning to poke into other things that we might possibly want to write about. And I am excited to hear what you guys have to say during this meeting, more than to share my own thoughts. And with that, I will pass it to Michael.
Hi, everybody. So no Thanksgiving here in Canada today. We had ours, for some reason, we don't coordinate with the US on Thanksgiving. We had ours in October. And distracted by my son is home ill today in a minor way, just with a cold, but not distracting me right now. And yeah, so just the last week, well, as of Thursday, last week was essentially when I joined, I guess, in an official capacity. So just got those roles sorted out. Been doing a lot of onboarding discussions with different team members to understand how the organization works. Also did a bit of work on Monday. I was talking to some people about this event that I'm organizing in February, that it's sort of rebranding it as a Giveth event. Then now been reading and digging into creating this overall plan of action for the DAOification of the DApp, and continuing to coordinate with Danny and Wojtek and others, Quasia, so forth. And I'll pass it back to Griff, unless someone else joined. Did someone else join?
Well, I still have to go. So, and also, yeah. So, intentions for the meeting: just talk about circles, and then have a fun fireside chat about who knows what. And then distractions. I'm at the IDN3 office, and I already said goodbye to everyone, but eventually during one of these meetings, they'll probably kick me out. So that's scary. And then this week, oh man, you know, I've been in one place, so I didn't have so many travel distractions and got to do a lot of stuff with Giveth. So there was like this huge DApp vision document, which I passed off to Michael, which I really hope everyone can read. I think Michael's, I just gave him edit access, so he'll probably clean it up a little bit so it's easier to read. But that's really exciting for me, and is kind of the highlight of the week. But then had lots of meetings with lots of people. Andreas wanted to bring in 2 sponsors, or Andreas is gonna. He was looking for someone who would want to go to London and represent Giveth, and at this like funders meeting. And I think at the end of the call, we pretty much decided it was him. So that's good. It was kind of a weird way to say, Andreas, you have the authority to speak for Giveth. This is Andreas from GraceAid. And then coordinating like bridges for nodes with Kai. Mostly it's just like, Kai, help, and then he does everything. And then there was a Funders League call, so really just still getting the grant support stuff pushed forward. And there was a lot of DApp, a few DApp issues that I put up there, and lots of coordination with Jeff, and we did some conflict res with Lorelei, which was fun, and then had a very successful meeting with Rich from MakerDAO from that vision document, which was derived from the proposal from MakerDAO, and he's going to give us 10K for the DApp to finish integrating DAI, which is in a good state. It looks like we're going to integrate MetaMask and tokens in the next release, but the next release might take a couple weeks because of all the testing that will be involved with it. So we'll see exactly how that goes. And then yesterday was the first time we had 2 DApp team meetings, which was interesting. Seemed like a waste of time a little bit, but it's okay. In the end, the DApp team side of things was really short because we hashed out a lot of things in the first meeting, which Satya and RJ didn't have to go to. So that's kind of good. And then then there's the comms meeting, but also I've been researching a way. It's really important to me that we find a way to donate to the DApp without having to send data, so that like we can have other integrations. And so I've been looking at other integrations that we could put on top of the DApp that would allow us to donate to that integration as an address, and then that integration would call the function in the contract. And there might be an option with Request Network or Coin Payment. I doubt Coin Payments will do it, but Request Networks may have a solution. And then there's all the other things with Aragon, hiring people, and the DApp node, IDN3, and so many other things, but that's all the good stuff. So let's see, Lorelei.
Hello. So I am distracted today by like all of the shit I need to do, and like I feel like I'll be splitting my attention between this and some roles meeting prep. And my intention is just to to hear about this circles conversation that Griff thinks is going to be short. And and what I did this week, worked on a lot of Aragon DAC hiring, facilitated conflict resolution stuff, worked on roles process. I hounded all of you guys about that. And I worked a bit with Lansky on an article for the Unicorn DAC, and generally trying to keep up. And I went to Cardona, the castle. It misses you all. And I will pass it to whoever hasn't gone, if there's anyone.
I think there's fellow Jitzer.
Fellow Jitzer.
Is that Danny?
Spot. Danny?
I don't think Michael's gone either.
Oh no, Michael went.
Yeah, I went.
So we got a fellow Jitzer who is.
Actually,
muted.
Bowen, would you mind taking notes at this meeting because I was late and I don't know what's going on, but I also have a lot of other stuff I need to be doing.
Oh boy, I was trying to actually do the.
Oh, you're doing it too. Okay, no, keep doing the roles thing. Anybody else want to take notes?
Okay,
I have
I'll give it a go.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna send you the template in the chat, Michael.
Okay.
Yeah. Good luck, Michael. We'll see how it goes.
Might as well just dive right in, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
The nice thing is it's all being recorded on video, so we'll be able to reference it back.
Yeah, notes are sort of just a backup, just in case the video gets deleted by a hacker or something like that. It's not that has happened. Oh, and that's one thing
that ever happened.
Yeah, and that's one thing I forgot to explain, just as an aside, that I also did this week. Was there was a white hat group action where we recovered some funds from some private keys that were exposed in some random public database. So we scraped and we stole all the money that was in those keys, and then we made a post on Etherscan that said, "Hey, if your money ended up here, give us your Twitter account, and someone from the white hat group will contact you." What do you know? That's me. And so I had a conversation with some Russian hacker guy that was, claiming to say that his money was stolen. But I honestly didn't believe him, and I got the runaround. But the goal was to record this conversation, and so that we had it for our own access in case someone else tries to claim this money is theirs. Because the private keys are exposed, so we really don't have a good way to prove. And so it's like, well, if you're really an honest person, this really is your money, then show us some ID. And that was the point of making this weird video that Kai found on We Weren't Hacked. I just in the title of the video, I put the guy's Ethereum address and Twitter handle, which looks
yes, and a .ru, which is .russia address.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, guys, thanks for clearing it up, man.
Yeah, which was his Twitter handle, which is why, I mean, in the end, I hate making those judgments, but what do you know? The guy was not being truthful, and I think he was a Russian hacker. So
this is the address that with the exposed key.
That's the title. Yeah, that's the address with the exposed key. So if you want to do some fun background research, if you see where all the tokens were that were in that address, you can go see the white hat group address that stole all the money.
You should not say stole, but yeah.
I know. Rescued. Okay. Hopefully by now, Michael has a chance to attack the notes, and we can start with the first. Okay. We can start with the only proposal, which in Lumio seems to have pretty strong support for getting rid of circle leads. So the proposal, the tension is we have new processes, roles meeting, we have campaigns, and we've been living within this concept of circles for a long time. And circles are great because they give people from outside, we use them as departments, and it kind of gives an easy way to understand what is Giveth and how is Giveth organized in these 4 different circles, which are like buckets for work, you could say, or focus, buckets for focus. But when we started these circles, we had leads, and we put leads there. The idea behind that was to model campaigns, which had delegates, which are going to be people who make decisions where the money goes until we can decentralize those people with a DAO or some kind of other governance model. And so we wanted to test that out with circle leads. But as we've grown and we have role sheets and other processes, circle leads are more of they're like artifact of the past that we can just get rid of. And so my proposal is circles aren't all that bad because they first off, we're already been using them for so long that they're in a lot of our documentation. And also the idea of circles are really nice. Circles are round. They're beautiful. It's nice. And they're useful to explain things. But circles can be replaced by the roll sheet. And I think there's a lot of people who want to get rid of circles altogether. I think the real issue is circle leads is the piece. So proposal, there are no more circle leads. They're just campaign managers that have a very specific role of decentralizing themselves eventually, and then until then, moving funds that are donated to that campaign to the appropriate place. And the idea of circle lead will be banished from the land. And then there's roles. So, clarifying questions.
I kind of have a question. So what is the difference between a campaign manager and a circle lead at that point? Because it seems that a circle lead is really only a circle lead because they decide what gets paid, right?
Yes. So there are some campaigns that cross circles. And there's multiple campaigns in some
like
circles.
social coding, you mean?
Yeah, like social coding and granting, right?
Yeah.
And Parker gets to decide where the money goes in granting, and social coding is decided by Yaler. Whether he wants that power or not, he has it. So,
right.
And Chris has comms, but sometimes some things. Like Reward DAO, Reward DAO has its own campaign, which I think eventually Danny will become the lead of. But right now, Lindsay is in control of, and they have their own funds. And so, but we don't need to be outward facing with Reward DAO as a circle, because it's kind of within governance and kind of within all these other things, right? So the idea of circles is that they're big buckets, and it's really to help explain what the hell is going on with Giveth, whereas and there will no longer be a circle lead. It will just be a concept of, hey, this is a Giveth focus. And in our manifesto or goals or whatever, if you look in the role sheet that we're going to be playing with in detail, there's even what do you call it? Like a column that you have to go look at the circle goals, and each circle has a list of goals, and it helps us organize our concepts. But campaigns are actually a tool we use to move money around. And so it's like circles will just be an abstract concept that we maintain to explain the ideas, but campaigns are sold only for money, basically.
Okay, that makes sense.
Makes sense.
I have a clarifying question.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. So with this whole like drag the options in order of your preference, like this is my least favorite, my favorite option. With that type of proposal, is there anything binding that's happening with, your second and third choice, or is it just like your first choice is the thing that gets brought in and it doesn't mean anything about those other choices?
So in general, Lumio is not binding unless it's clear consensus. It's signaling. So Lumio options, I picked this mostly for fun, but also because we don't use it very much. So it's like let's exercise Lumio power. But I also wanted to see if people thought that there was a problem or not, right? Like, is getting rid of circle leads, I figured would for sure be the like overarching solution that everyone would rally around. But I was wondering, like, how is keeping things the way they are that bad and having this idea of circle leads? Or is it preferred that we actually have a problem, so we need to get rid of circles altogether, the concept? And having that as a second option and that has to be ranked, I thought gave value to the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah, so I don't have any. I think it's fine about the circle leads, given there was a history behind it and it's not needed anymore. But and the concept of, I like the concept of a circle being round and all that kind of idea of inclusiveness. But where I, as a newbie coming in, where I see it being a challenge is, and I said it in the Lumio comment, is that it seems to me like we're mixing up a lot of stuff in what we call a circle. So it's like there's outward facing stuff like the DAP or the social coding, and then there's inward facing stuff like the governance or the communication, and they all seem to be called a circle. And I'm wondering if, that's my son knocking on the door trying to get in. I'm just wondering if there's a, if we need to distinguish that somehow.
Okay, so what I would say is, I don't know if that's a clarifying question or if it's a reaction. So can you make that a question, or should we consider that a reaction?
Maybe you could move on. My son is here disturbing me right now. Sorry.
Okay. So unless there's any more clarifying questions, let's move to reaction round, huh, guys? I guess I can comment on that saying, yeah, maybe inaction out of this means that, like, we'll have reactions and we'll figure out what other action steps are needed to make up for any kind of ambiguity. So yeah, reaction round.
I'll go first. So I'm fine with getting rid of circle leads. I don't really think it needs to happen, but it seems like it would make a lot of people happy. But I think that we're really bound to like lean towards calling that role something, especially outward facing when we're talking to people who might want to contribute. They're wondering who the point person is or whatever. So I don't know. I see myself maybe like talking more in the language of delegates. Really like this idea of like double delegation between circles. That's like a two-way street that can be fulfilled by one person or by several. And when it's fulfilled by one person, that's usually like a lead, right? They're, telling others outside the circle what this circle wants, and they're also telling to their circle what the outside thinks and wants. Those are the two directions of delegation. Anyways, I just think that we need something to say, because like if we have circles, somebody wants to get involved in a circle, like we're going to have to direct them towards a point person, a delegate. I don't know. Yeah, those are my thoughts. I will pass it on to Adam. Do you want to react?
Yeah. Hey guys. I think, from the standpoint of a governance experiment, it's definitely interesting. My own experience at Giveth, I don't feel like it's been majorly like a hindrance or really like a help, I guess, having circle leads. But, I think we're all about experimenting. So the idea of doing an experiment in leaderlessness makes sense, I think. Yeah, I don't have super deep stuff to say about this. I'm sorry, has anyone not gone on this topic? Kai?
Yeah.
Oh no, did Kai just freeze? Oh, he's back. Yeah, you're back though.
You can hear me? Okay. So I would really like to hear from Chris, actually, who is not here, because we've talked about this idea for quite some time now. Like that you made the Lumio glyph, because there was some new thing coming up. I think Josh posted this great circle thing of sociocracy. And that for me made clear that it's really, that for me, if I think about the circle, it's really more about the circle would govern something. Like that's also what I wrote in Lumio. This is more about the DAOification of like a leadership role, taking it away from like one person. I have to talk a little more quiet. To distribute to more than one person. So I think because we have different areas now that are actually primed to do some different experimentation, that we should resolve this issue in a way that every circle that is there now can choose how they want to operate, because there definitely should be lots of handoffs and no disruption. But I think that lots of stuff is true. Like we have campaigns on the DApp, we have roles in a role sheet, and those should be merged together. And the roles can be, you know, the people actually pushing for something, for some direction always, and they could be changing more, or, you know. And this is what I like about the roles thing. So yeah, actually every circle should decide for themselves, and the way it looks like is that Social Coding will run an experiment with Colony, to use Colony as a leadership instrument. I think that like the Unicorn DAC, what it really is in the end is getting rid of like the delegate for the governance in a way. So like to have a circle that replaces the governance lead. And so I would like to hear from Chris. I don't know how it looks for communication, but I think that it's a lot of work and also would need more than one person. But yeah, I cannot say. So yeah, I would love to go ahead with this in a way where we go deeper in the issue with, or just every circle makes one of those decisions. And did Bowen actually go yet?
No, I didn't. But I'm sorry, I got completely distracted. Can somebody go before me, or am I the last person? I don't think Michael's gone, because I was looking at that circle sociocracy thing, and I got completely distracted by it.
Sure, I can go.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't have too much to add. I'm all for what, you know, Adam was saying too. You know, trying this idea. You know, I'm all about experimenting and trying this idea of sort of leaderless circle concept. And so I'm sorry. Sorry, I need. Sorry, I'm. Okay, sorry about that. I had a little distraction there. But in terms of the taking away the circle leads, I mean, I'm too new to really know, but I think it sounds like a great idea.
Okay, and now I'll pipe up, because I was just in mid reading sentence. It's a good idea to eliminate circle leads, because it isn't having a figurehead that's important. It's getting the job done that's important, right? So, although my only question about it would be like, if there isn't somebody who is you know, in a traditional communicating with other human beings that work in the rest of the world kind of way, that we can say, oh, this is the person that you want to talk to about that thing, because they are the X of whatever project. It seems to be handy in communication with other groups, or explaining to other people what it means, rather than it's important in and of itself. Does that make any sense? Okay, so that's where I'm at. I'm like, let's give it a shot, but it's just going to become cumbersome in attempting to try to guide people to who to talk to about certain things if we don't have point people, if that makes sense.
Yep. So I think that's everyone. I will amend and clarify. So the circle delegate lead link, and I think a lot of the comments here are are really pointing to our roles sheet as the solution, right? It's like, oh, if we need an onboarding person who knows who everyone is, that's a role, and or like it's just like, oh, someone new came in and they need to know who to talk to about XYZ. Well, there's someone who knows that, or there's an onboarding, you can create a role. So, and this is where the sociocracy piece really fits in. And also historically, that's why we had to do circle leads, because we tried to do a role sheet and there was no buy-in for it. So we needed circle leads. And now we have buy-in for the role sheet and it's happening. And so I think that we can parse out what a leads role would be to anyone who sees the problem and be the solution. And as far as, yes, Chris is not here, and Chris was the only person who actually sorted it in a different order, that we need circles to get rid of roles leads first, but then keep things the same, or we need circles, or at least they were at one point. Chris was at one point the only person.
That's how I was going to vote too.
Yeah. Okay. So now, so there are a couple of people who think that, but Chris was the main one, and we had lots of discussions about this, and honestly, he's why he gave me the arguments to keep circles in the first place. Otherwise, circles would have been all the way gone, or at least I would have been pushing for that. And he is happy to get rid of circle leads, and he likes the rule sheet. So, and at least I hate to talk for him, but I believe that he believes the role sheet can make up for any loss of having a circle lead. So, new proposal or same proposal is we get rid of the idea of circle leads, and we lean on the roles sheet to provide the certainty that having a circle lead before provided. Yeah, that's the proposal. Are there any objections? Oh, but we keep circles, of course. Are there any objections? Proposal passed! Okay, so Lorelei was right. That did take a little bit longer than I thought. But yeah, so that's it. That's all on the agenda. Does anyone have anything they want to talk about?
Yeah, I wanted to show. Yeah, okay, show it quick. So anybody who is actually a structured person, the thing is, Dani is not here. It's kind of for Dani. Oh, come on. Let's take this one. Does it work?
Oh, are you trying to share your screen?
Yeah, no, it didn't work.
Your video is turned off, so.
My video is turned off, but that should only be the other video. Sharing is not working, unfortunately.
What if you turn off your video, or turn on your video, like show us your face and then try?
It doesn't work anymore.
Refresh?
I'm just gonna rejoin.
Are there any other agenda topics that we want to make sure we cover? From anyone? No? Oh, I see Kai's screen now.
No. Okay.
Yeah, now it works. Or at least it did.
So let's see. Too many open tabs.
Chris told me about this awesome thing called the Great Suspender that Chrome has. Love that tool.
Okay, so one thing is I turned off any mode of communication until you go with a secure link, HTTPS. So the link is like this. I will put it in a chat. It's HTTPS crm.pwf.io. And whoever feels like a very active relationship person should probably use this. So, okay, now it works, right?
Yeah.
So this is the CRM. We log in, and that's pretty much as much as I can show you. It seems to be able to track everything. Like this is kind of like, it wants me to track my calls, my meetings, my accounts. The idea is to have like an overview of who you talk to about what. And you can add all kinds of predefined things here, like emails that have been important, or so I just wanted to quickly show it. Whoever wants access to this, please send me a message and I'll invite you. Questions?
So does this act as like a shared database that gives like selective read and write access, or?
Oh, that would be what we want, but that's not possible because we use so many different things. This is something completely else you're talking about. I do want to make like a campaign where we get together everything that's security and administration related within Giveth and the permissions, onto one, like talk about it onto one pile of data to know who has access to what. But this is not it.
Well,
we could do it.
What I mean is, if let's say I put business cards in this document or this thing, right? Not everyone can access that information, but maybe some admins can, or.
So that would be interesting to see right now. Let's go to Dani. Is she? So I don't know. I can see, like, I'm the admin. I cannot see anything Dani really did. I just see her as a user. I don't know.
Or
so
like,
this is my thing. Like, I can track myself, and I think we can share stuff. I did not play around with it at all. Like I just set it up and wanted to show you guys.
What's the expected use case?
I wish Dani was here. Like, this is customer relationship management. That is what CRM is for, and it really is a tool for managing the relationship with your customer or with whoever. Like, we don't like the word probably, but yeah. So that's why it's structured like was I talking to? What meetings did I have? What accounts do I have? And so I think you can do a lot with this. And I would like to see somebody, because I think Dani also used this before. So she was specifically asking for a tool like this. And she probably knows more about the intricacies, why it's so great to have. I see it as like a very specific data gathering thing. And yeah, like I said in the outcome on Loomio, like I shared there, let's actually watch the costs of this, because it could be more or could be less of what I was estimating. It's kind of intransparent. It's an approximated price of $14 a month now. So I don't know. If we like it, we can even host it ourselves on a DigitalOcean Droplet, probably the cheapest. Whatever.
That saves like $4 a month. Like.
Yeah. Like you said, like, there's not much. I don't know if it's it's probably worth. Is it worth a few $100 a year? That's just one thing people should ask themselves while evaluating. Because if only Dani were using it, we could use the official hosting, which is per user, I think $5 a month. So we have, if we have under 4 users, we should probably go with a different plan.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's, yeah.
Anyone else have any questions about this? Okay, cool. Well, I think it's cool, Kai. I'll probably use it as well. I hope I do.
Nice. Yeah, so I can set you up with an account and let's try.
Okay. Anybody else have any topics, or maybe we can give a 15-minute break so everyone can fill out the roll sheet.
Yeah.
That
If
might be
you,
a good idea.
I think a lot of you guys did it today and filled out your final pieces there. And just before the meeting, the last thing to do might be to look and see what are the things that are really worth talking about and need to be brought up in this meeting. Because we gave a lot of feedback, but not all of it needs to be gone through in the meeting. So if you just want to go in and say, this one's really important, like maybe pick 2 or 3 things that you really want to bring into that space. I have to go grab our laundry out of the dryer down the street. And I'll be back and see you guys at 7.
Cool. Well, does anyone have anything, or should we just check out?
I'm good, thanks. See you in 10 minutes.
Okay, yep. I guess it's checkout time. Thank you, guys. Good meeting. Pass it to Bowen.
Thank you, guys. Good meeting. And I guess this is checkout. And I pass it to Don Adams.
Hey guys, yeah, great meeting. What I was able to catch of it. I will see you guys at Rolls in a little bit, and I'll pass it to Michael.
Hey, good meeting, and yeah, I'll try to get all those notes in there for everybody so they can review it later.
I'll check out actually by saying that I'm just going to be like 5 minutes, and if anyone wants to come hang in the room early if they need any mentorship for the roll sheet, I'll just be there as soon as I get back. So for the few minutes before the meeting, if you have any questions.
Are you can you post the link to the place that meet is going to happen?
Yes, I will. I'll put it in here, and I'll also put it in the governance chat on Riot.
Cool.
Thank you, Laura.
It's so interesting how much work doing work stuff is versus how much work doing family stuff is.
Lol.
Okay, give us rolls. There we go. I'll see you guys over there.